Linux and Mac commands are commonly used in the world of software development and quality assurance. They can be used by any engineer for a variety of purposes, such as creating and manipulating data, connecting to a server and grabbing server logs, connecting database, and running all sorts of scripts for a variety of purposes, and to even be used to restore the database. Every company, though, will have a different level of needs in these or those commands. But in this video, you will learn the majority of most common ones to kick off your career, and not to be shy about your terminal skills. This will be a part 1 tutorial, and if you guys like it and want to get more, leave a comment below, and I will create a second part of this tutorial for you, if we'll get enough comments. Now, let me quickly tell you about the sponsor of today's video, and then we're gonna get started. US Cloud's Microsoft Enterprise Support can replace your unified contract, drastically reducing Microsoft operating costs. In 2023, 94% of US Cloud's clients reported savings of 1/3 or more while switching from Microsoft Unified Support to US Cloud. US Cloud is the only pure-play Microsoft Enterprise Support specialist on the marketplace. Delivering affordable, high-quality support is all they do. Find out how Microsoft Unified Support is rapidly increasing in price, but US Cloud can save IT managers 50% on their Microsoft Unified Support span, while providing faster time to resolution, or TTR. Don't get into Microsoft trap. Use US Cloud. See more details at uscloud.com. Now, let me quickly show you all of those 50 commands that you're going to be using as an engineer. So, first of all, on the top, we can see Terminal. At the bottom, we can see our Finder, and we are on a Mac. So, Finder is pretty much an application where you can see our folders and files. So, and let's double check that. At the bottom, we can see test, which is a test folder, and 2 files inside. On the top, we can also see that we are in a test folder, but also you can print working directory, first command, by running pwd. Then you're going to see that you are inside of the test folder, which is located inside of the desktop, which is located inside of the Sergey Kromchenko, which is located inside of the users. Great, but how do I see those file name and robots.txt files? Well, there is a new command called ls, which stands for list directory contents. When you see all of the files, you might be asking, like, how do I see the hidden files the way I could see them in a window, in Windows? And well, there's another command, ls-la. That's where you will see much more information, including your permissions on the left side, and including the size of the files and actual file names and hidden files if there are some. But in our case, we do not have any. Let's move forward. So now we are going to learn a clear command. Whenever you get a lot of content in a terminal, you can simply run clear, hit enter, and it's going to clear everything, including my brain. Let's move forward. Next command is cd, which stands for change directory. So going to type cd space ... and we're going to get outside of the folder. Actually, before we run that, let me run pwd so you could see what's happening. So cd space ... and we're going to go 1 level up, which means we're going to get inside of the desktop. After I run it, you see the folder name has changed to desktop, and we can also verify it by printing working directory. Great. Now, how about we get back inside of the test folder? Well, change directory to test. And you can even add slash or not add slash, doesn't really matter. It's going to get in it as soon as you hit enter. Perfect. We can see test. Great. How about if you want to go multiple levels up? Well, cd ... And you can keep going with the ... And that doesn't even matter. We can hit enter, and we are back in our root directory, which is Sergey Kromchenko this moment. That's why you can see the tilde right here. How do we verify that? pwd. Great. How do you get inside of the test folder from the 2 levels back, or from the root directory? So we can specify it in the same way as we did with the path, just by saying the folder name, which is a desktop, and then another folder name, and we can get inside of the test. You might ask, how did I type in that quickly? Well, there is an autofill, and I'm going to quickly show it to you. And by the way, instead of repeating command that you have written before, there is another one that you can run, which is pretty much clicking an arrow up. That's going to show you history. Click arrow up once, or push or press arrow up once, you're going to see the previous command. You press it twice, you're going to see another command before that. You press it for the 3rd time, you're going to see a 3rd command from the history. And I'm going to hit enter. Now I am back in the root directory. And from here, I'm going to type in cd, then I'm going to type in de, and then I'm going to hit tab button. Tab button, that's the one that autofills the name for you if there is a unique name. The thing is, I did type 2 characters. If you will type only one, like D, and hit tab, computer will show you that, hey, you got actually 3 folders or files starting with the letter D. So you might have to choose one of them which has the second unique character. And since I want to go to desktop, I'm going to type in E, and there is going to be unique identifiers such as DE. There is DO, DO, and DE. Since there is only one D, I'm going to hit tab one more time. Then I'm going to type in letter T, hit tab again, and it's going to say, oh, there are actually two things, one file and one folder starting with the letter T. That's why we're going to have to type in TE again, hit tab, and then hit enter. Now we're back to test folder as the way we want it to be way at the beginning. Now let's clear it and move on to the next command. Now let's create a folder. We're going to create a folder called Sergi, and then we're going to see it at the bottom. Now we're going to create a couple of folders, and you can simply do it by specifying a couple of names with the spaces, simply as test and test1. When we do that, you will see that we have created multiple folders at the bottom. Now we can quickly remove those folders by running rmdir, and let's say test1. You can see test1 is already gone, but there is another command to remove the folder, which will remove the folder with files inside, where rmdir will not work. So first of all, let's copy existing files such as test.txt, so cp, which is a new command, and then we're going to specify the file name of which we're going to be moving to, and test.txt is going to be moved to test/test.txt. When we do that, you can navigate inside through the Finder to see the test file was moved there. But also, we could potentially show it from this directory. And we can do that by specifying the path, ls test, and by running that command, we are listing, or we're showing all of the contents from the test folder. So now, let's try to remove it with rmdir test, and it says directory not empty, which means that there is a file inside. So let's remove it. rm-r, and then we're going to specify test. Now it is gone. We're going to clear everything up again, double check it, pwd, we're in test folder, we've removed another test folder just now, so let's clear it and continue. Now let's create multiple files. Touch, file.js, then file.html, and a file.css. When we do that, you're going to see that we have created multiple files by running only one command. Same applies to majority of the commands in a terminal, such as mkdir, touch, etc. Now, after we've learned how to create multiple files, how about we move these files? So, mv, let's say, file.js to sergi/file.js. That is gone. Now let's check out Sergi folder. ls, ser, hit tab, and file.js is inside. Cool. How about we move the rest? So let's move multiple files. mv, file.html, and file.css to Sergi. Boom. Both files are gone. Let's check out. Let's hit arrow up to see the previously ran commands. And that's the command we ran. Let's hit arrow up again so we could see ls sergi, and all the files have been moved. So once again, you can move one file by specifying a file name, or you can move multiple files by specifying them through the space. Let's continue. We're going to clear. Well, how about talking to ourselves? That sounds weird, but you're going to talk to yourself right now. Echo, hi, Sergi. Boom, we just told ourselves, hi, Sergi. That's cool, but how about make it a little bit more useful? How about we create a file with this text by using echo? So echo, we're going to click arrow up, and then we're going to put more than sign and say, I don't know, let's call it file.txt. Cool, you can see the file was just created. Now, if you're a cool and advanced engineer, you're going to be using nano. So let's say nano and specify file name, file.txt. Cool, we are inside. So we have a hi Sergi here. How about we're going to add hi Sergi and add an exclamation mark. Great, now let's get out of it. We're going to use Control-O on a Mac, and then we're going to hit enter to verify file name, and then we're going to do Control-X to exit. Now we can read that file. So let's use the cat command, cat file.txt, and it's going to show us what we have inside. That's amazing, but if you are even cooler than Nano, you're going to be using Vim, which is quite an impressive virtual editor. So Vim, and then let's specify the file name .txt, and we are inside of Vim. Now you're going to have to hit letter I on your keyboard in order to get into insert mode that you can see right there. Hi Sergi, and also we're going to say hi everyone else. Then we're going to hit escape, colon, WQ, or actually WQ for write and quit. And then we're going to hit enter. Make sure that you did hit colon, shift colon, and make sure that you did put W and Q, because otherwise you will not be able to get out of it and you're going to be in trouble. Amazing. Let's hit ls to see what's happening here. All right, now we're going to use one of the coolest commands that all of you guys are going to be using in the future as an engineers or software engineers. So that one is called curl. Curl is an API client in the world of terminal. And by running this command, such as, by the way, let me remove extra characters that are not needed here, curl -o, and then we specify the URL to the file. And as soon as I hit enter, you're going to see that we are downloading, and we've just downloaded our file, which is right there, package-log.json. Before we move forward, let me clear it. Let me remove that filename.txt, because I don't think we're going to be needing it. Clear it again. Awesome. We are at the clear stage. Let's move forward. So let's read that package-log.json to see what's inside. Whoa. If I just hit enter, cat and file name and hit enter, you're going to see a lot of data. I don't want to do that. I want to see a little bit of it. Let's look at it by portions because it's not very readable. By the way, if you guys are interested in learning more about API testing, I'm going to leave a link for the video right here and also right below this video for the Postman tutorial, which is one of the most popular tutorials and tools on the market. Let's continue. So the head command will show us the first 10 lines of the file. So head package-log.json. Amazing. We can see first 10 lines. Quite a few of them are empty, so you can also see those, but regardless. What if you want to see certain amount of lines? And we can easily do that by specifying the amount of lines. Let's say head -n 20. And then we're going to specify our file name by typing in PA and then hitting tab again and hit enter. Perfect. Now we can see 20 lines of HTML code. Regardless, let's move forward. Tail command works in the same way, but it shows you the last 10 lines from the end. So tail package.json, and you can see that we are closing our HTML body and some of the div tags of our HTML file. I'm going to clear it and move forward. Now let's zip it and unzip it in case there is a huge file or a lot of files. So there's a simple zip command, and then we're going to specify how our file is going to be called when we zip it. It is going to be, let's say, file.zip, and we're going to zip file.txt. As soon as we hit enter, you can see that we have just stored the file in a file.zip. How about we unzip it? Well, same command, unzip, and then we specify file.zip. Hit enter, and let's say replace file. So we already have an existing file.txt that we have just zipped, and we're unzipping it. It's saying, hey, you already have one. Do you want to remove it? Well, let's say yes, let's replace it. So we've just replaced the file that was previously existing there, so we wouldn't have to remove it. Now let's remove that file zip because we're not going to need it. And we can simply use rm and then specify file.zip. Boom, it is gone. Let's clear it and move forward. Let's remove that extra not needed test.txt file because we're not going to be using it. Let's clear it. And now, what if you, imagine this, you want to compare two files. I'm not sure why, but you might compare them one day. So we're going to use cmp command, which stands for compare, and then we're going to specify, let's say, file.txt, which has only a couple of lines of code, and then we're going to compare it with, let's say, robots. Those are two completely different files, so we're going to see that the first line of code is completely different for both. It's cool that we can see it, but what are the differences actually? So let's use diff to see the differences in a very specific way. So we're going to specify the same thing, and then we're going to jump into the diff command instead of the cmp. And the diff is quite different because not only there is one line of code different, everything is different. Great, let's clear it and move forward. Now, quick reminder that you guys gotta hit that big fat thumb up button below, subscribe to our channel, and you can join our Instagram and Telegram communities where you can see a lot more updates that are on our YouTube channel right here. And also, if you're interested in changing your career to QA or software development engineering in test, feel free to schedule a free call with me, link you can find in the description right below this video. Let's continue. So it is cool that we have already learned cat command and we can read the file, but how about being able to sort that file in alphabetical order? We can easily do that by using cat. Let's say, let's use robot.txt, and we're gonna put a pipe there, space, pipe, and then we're gonna say sort. As soon as we hit enter, you will see that it is sorted in alphabetical order. Let's clear it. It is great, but what if we want to find a word in a file or all of the lines that contain a word? Well, we're gonna use grep. So we're gonna say grep. Let's use for the word, let's use for HTTPS in robots.txt. Let's hit enter. And you're going to see that we can only see lines with HTTPS. We cannot see anything else. And how about we look for something unique, such a hatch? Let's click arrow up on our keyboard, or let's hit arrow up on our keyboard, remove HTTPS, put hatch, hit enter, and you can see, boom, there's only one line, and this is such a line. But what if you want to find all the lines that don't contain such a word? Well, very simple. You're going to use -v and run the same command. Now you can see all of the lines except the hatch, because the hatch was somewhere there. Coolio. Let's clear it. Okay, if you guys ever wonder who are you, you can run whoami, and you will see that you are Sergey Krimchenko or whoever you are. Well, if you don't know something else, you can always ask the man, and man will tell you. Let's say man Vim. Man, what is Vim? Vim is VI improved or virtual improved programmer text editor. Awesome, you can see a lot more details. I'm going to hit letter Q to get out of it. You can ask, hey man, what is cat? And the cat is concatenate and print files. Amazing. Hey man, what is man or man? Well, by running man, you can see that man is a display online manual documentation pages. I'm not a man, I'm just the man. Let's move forward. It's great that a man can tell you what the things are, but what if you want to find them? Such as, where is the cat? The cat is located in the bin cat user share man1 cat.1. That's where the cat is located. And you can ask about any of the tools that you've been using. Where is Vim in order to find where was it installed? Honestly, you guys will need these commands one day whenever things not gonna work, and you're gonna have to find them, manually remove them, and reinstall them again. Now, you guys are going to learn one of the most important commands that exist for the Mac and the Linux users. That one is called brew. Brew is just like a Siri. It is your helper or a package manager. You can tell Siri, hey Siri, can you play some music? You can also tell Brew, hey Brew, can you install this program or that program? How do we do that? Well, we're gonna use it. We can actually install it by navigating to Google Chrome or any browser of your preference. We're gonna type in home brew. Let's say not through, but brew. Hit enter, and you're gonna see the first one, brew.sh. Great. As soon as you navigate to the website, you will see this command, by the way, which is a curl command. So I did click here to copy it. Now I'm going to navigate to our terminal, type in the command, hit enter, and it's going to ask me for the password. You need to type in your password, and on Linux and Mac, you will not see anything, but it's going to be typing. So I'm going to type in my 123password.com and hit enter. And now it's saying the Xcode command line tools will be installed. Press enter to continue, or press any key to your board. Since I do already have it installed, I'm going to hit any key in order to cancel it, and I'm going to clear it. And after, guys, you do that, after you actually install it, and you might have to wait for a while because it's going to be updating Xcode, which takes a huge amount of data, to be honest. But either way, after you did it, you can say brew, and it will show you all of the possible commands that you can run. And also, we can install things simply by saying, hey, brew, install, for example, nvm, which is the node package manager. Great, it took me a little bit to install it. Actually, I do already have it installed, and I can even show you guys that nvm-v will show you which version of the nvm we do have installed. Let's move forward. Now we're still getting into advanced stuff, and if you guys ever need to find out what is your public IP address, you can simply run ipconfig getiffadr, en0. When you run it, you will see your public address. By the way, please don't hack me by seeing my address. Now, if you guys want to test your website, you can simply ping it to see if it's alive. I'm going to ping our codify.com. By the way, I highly recommend you to check out the website, guys, if you want to change your career. I'm going to hit enter, and you will see that every second we're getting pinged, and you can see how long it takes. It takes only 4 to 23 milliseconds. It's going to keep checking it until it dies. But there's actually a simple way to limit it to only 5 pings, which will be -C, 5, and I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to see that it's going to hit once, second, third, fourth, and a 5th time, and it's dead. Great. Now we're getting into very advanced and cool stuff. VM_stat. This is going to show you all of the memory usage of your computer, which is quite insane. And by the way, you can use free command, which would be for Linux, which will not work on my Mac. Great. But if you guys want to see more data, if you actually want to see all of the processes on your computer live, you can run top command. You will see a lot of those running and changing up and back and forward based on the amount of CPU being used. And you might wonder, well, how do I stop it and how do I find one of the processes? And let's say, how do I want to kill it? There is an easy way to kill it. First of all, let's run Control-C to kill this process. Let's clear it. In order to kill it, we have to catch actual ID or process ID, right? So let's run it one more time. We're going to run top. Let's catch something. I just saw that there was a zoom, which means I have a zoom running, and you guys can see it right here. How about I try to find the zoom? Well, in order to find it, we could use grep command that you guys have already seen. And let's quickly run the command. And that command is top pipeline grep zoom. And let's see. There we go. We have it keeps checking every second. We can kill it by pressing Control-C, and we can see the ID. ID is right here. I'm going to copy this ID, and now we're going to run the command. You won't believe, but it's simply kill. Kill, hit the ID, boom. Now, if I run again, top grep zoom, it won't find anything, and you can see that Zoom just died in my laptop. I mean, it was shut down. So let's clear it and show you a couple of more very advanced commands that you guys are definitely going to be using in the future. As I told you at the beginning of this video webinar or video lesson, you guys can SSH this server, or you can navigate to the server to check server logs. And let me show you how you do that. And that command is called SSH. So it is secure shell. I'm going to actually paste it because I already have copied that. And by saying SSH, I'm saying, hey, there's a secure tunnel that I want to use, and I want to connect to this particular host right here, TTY. That's pretty much an address of my server. And my username, which was already previously set by developers on that server, is Sergio13. And I'm going to hit enter. As soon as you hit enter, it will ask you for your password. And I'm going to quickly copy and paste mine. Great. I'm going to press Command V to paste it. You're not going to see it because it is a Mac or Linux, and you won't be able to see it. I'm going to hit enter, and then it will ask you, Sergio will expire in 655 days. Please validate your account soon. Please press your backspace key. Okay, I'm pressing backspace, and great. I can see a lot of data about a server. Great. I'm going to hit to continue. The moon is full. Amazing. And now I am on a server. You can see something looks very different. You can see a lot of data here. But you can see that the username is Sergio now, and the folders are quite different from my computer. You can run a last once again to see what's inside, pwd to see the path of working directory, but we're not going to get into this. We're actually going to get out of this server by actually typing in word exit and hitting enter. And it's saying, hey, please validate or join our pause soon. Your support is appreciated. Thank you. And now we're going to wait for a couple of seconds, and here we go. We are out of again. And now let me show you the very last and probably one of the best commands. And the very last command is a sudo, which stands for super user. Shutdown -H now, which means we're going to shut off the computer now. So I'm going to say goodbye to you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.